Yep, that's what you're looking at. Is a Tesla Powerwall. Just had it installed on Tuesday. They got in about 9 o'clock. They didn't leave until 5. Power was off the house for about 4 hours. The rest of it was cleanup and showing me how it operates and signing it off. This is the Powerwall. Unbelievable. So happy about that. Finally got it after about 4 months. Put my name down a long time ago. This is a 14 panel PV solar roof panel. And this is my Tesla charger, the 70 amp. I have it a 50 amp. I only draw about 45 amps maximum for that. But this is the Powerwall. Fantastic. So we've had it for maybe about 2 or 3 days, and still trying to understand it fully. And it hasn't been approved yet or checked out yet by the city. The city has to inspect it, and they're going to come Monday to do that, to inspect it. So we're really kind of excited about the whole thing. For the 2 days or 3 days that they hooked it up, I think it was running about 5 o'clock on Tuesday. It had about 25 to 30% charge on the battery when they installed it. So that night, I was able to run the house with the Powerwall and not with the grid. The next day was not a very sunny day, so that day I used basically almost all of the battery except for 20%. I put a cushion in there to stop running it to the house, to the power, about 20% battery, just in case we would lose power. There would be that much of a backup on the battery. Basically, the same thing when I go supercharging on my Model X. I always put in about 20% more in the battery. It's a P90D, and that gets me to the next charging station with enough power. Don't have to worry about hills or rain or snow or anything like that, so it's been really great that way. What's happening here, though, since we're talking about the X, you see an S right here. This is a P85D. It's a loaner. And my car, the X, is in the shop. I brought it in yesterday. Huge metal object flew up in front of us on Sunday. It hit the driver's side window. And on the inside, it sounded like a shotgun. Pat was kind of dozing off there, just kind of really woke her up. I'm glad her eyes were closed, because when I saw it coming at us, it's kind of like, what do you do, And it was unbelievable. So USAA is going to, I have $1,000, I guess, deductible on that, and they're going to pay for that, or a portion of it anyways. Don't know how much that's going to be. So that's in the shop right now doing that. But this is what I'm really excited about right now is this Powerwall. It's interesting that right now I'm not using very much power in the house, and it's basically sharing from the PV, from the solar system on the roof. I'm putting 1,800 kilowatt hours from the PV, or from the roof, and a portion of it is coming from the battery to power the home. Nothing is coming from the grid, and it's just these two. The battery and the PV is supplying power to the home. And I know when it's doing it, because if you see this pulsating, is it pulsating? Let me see. Yes, it is pulsating. That means that I am producing enough power on the PV to supply the house, and the excess power is going to the battery pack to charge it up, and hopefully to 100%. Right now, I think it's about 30% full on that. So I need some sunny days in order to charge this battery pack up. And so here's the instructions they give you, a little book, you know, very tiny print and everything. So on the outside, it looks like this. Okay, there it is. You put a chaseway in. This is the old circuit board. I had fuses in here. The only fuses that are in here now is the main fuse, the air conditioning fuse, the PV fuse are in here. Those are all big fuses that are in there. That is what the grid takes care of. The battery pack cannot. I think UPS is here. Okay, thanks. I think what was I saying? The grid maintains the power for the air conditioning system and the charging system for the Tesla. Here, this is on a 50 amp breaker as well. I can pull about 45 amps for that. That's what this is all about right here. So those are the only breakers that are in the old breaker box. All the rest of the breakers, the lighting, refrigerator and washer, dryer, are now in here. It's all in here. Now that basically through the gateway, this is the gateway that transmits the information to Tesla, and they can control, I don't know about control, but I mean they can look at, what my system is basically doing. And so these are the breakers that used to be in there, the 20 amperes and 30 amperes that are in here, which is kind of interesting, is because the battery is maintaining all of this. It's maintaining all of the breakers that are in the house other than the big amperage ones. So that's how they kind of like do it. Kind of interesting. And so they monitor all of these through the gateway. The city, or the SDG&E in my case, the grid, basically monitors the larger ones and the larger breakers, because I don't have enough power to supply any of the air conditioning and the charging system and all that kind of thing. So basically, this unit here maintains all of the smaller amperage, 30 amp, 20 amp breakers that supply the power to the house. So that's how they kind of like take care of it, through the battery. Now, if I turn the air conditioner on, then the grid, the SDG&E power comes in to power that. That's why that's on a separate board. So it has nothing to do with this at all, or this, the PV or the battery. So this is basically just the house, minus the air conditioner and the charging system for the Model X. So that's how they do that. The power comes in from the PV. You can see it right there. Solar circuit comes around here, comes down here into the inverter. inverter, changes the DC into AC, comes through here, back around, through here, and then into the back side of the main breaker on the outside. This is from the main breaker on the outside, just supplying this right here, the charging system. So that's how it's done. Now this is from the backside of the new breaker system for the house, and through the gateway, and it's being charged through this and back again, I assume, because I don't see any other. That's the only in and out. So it's in and out. Comes in to charge the batteries from the inverter. It's gotten from the outside, back in this way, back and forth. So it's a balancing job. See, right now we're pulling 2081, and this should be pulsating. And looks like it's not pulsating, which means that it's supplying its power from both of these to the house. So I will see in about a month to see what's happening, but I kind of think it's really going to work out really well, because right now we're drawing hardly anything from the grid to the house. And come 6 o'clock tonight, I don't need to run the air conditioner because it's kind of cool. It's in the 70s, 73 outside, so I don't have to run the air conditioner. So after that, if we turn the air on, it'll be at a lower rate after 6 o'clock. After 6 o'clock at night, the rate goes down to, I believe, 21 cents. After midnight to 6 in the morning, the rate goes down to 18 cents. And then I believe it remains to 18 cents until right back again to 12 noon to 6 o'clock at night. The rate is at 50 cents. So you take those three and you add them up and divide them and all of that, it comes out as an average of 21 cents per kilowatt hour that SDG&E charges us, if you want to look at it that way. But basically, if you're running your air during the peak, you're still going to be using a lot of power, and this battery is not going to help you that much, because we're not drawing that much from power into the home. So, but when you turn that air on, it starts drawing. But what helps on the overall is that on the other, from 6 o'clock to 12 midnight to 6 o'clock in the morning, you're not drawing anything from the grid, and it's all battery. And also, if the grid should drop off and we won't have any power at all from the PV or the grid, it'll go on the battery as long as the battery has enough power to last however long the power is out, which is really kind of cool. That way you don't have to have a backup generator, for that. So that's kind of cool that way. So I'm really kind of stoked about this. This is really cool. And it's all about trying to get away from the grid, or out from the grid. And we'll see what happens. And in the future with this, more and more people. I heard that they said that in this area, I'm 1 out of 11 people who got the battery in this San Diego northern region area. I haven't talked to anybody who had one here yet. But it's going to be really interesting, and I don't know what else I can say except for I waited for a long time for this, and got the power, the EV car, got the PV on the roof, and now we got the battery. As far as getting another battery pack, I don't know if I'll do that. It's having a hard time, I think, charging up to what I have right now. If I do anything, I'll add more PV on the roof. I think I'll be adding 8 more panels on the roof to help the battery pack to charge it up. And that right now it's looking like that. I'll probably need. I have 14 panels right now. I have a 3.43 kilowatt power coming into that into the system, and I think probably if I had maybe a 5 kilowatt, it would charge the batteries up a little bit. I was going to go 21, but then I figured, well, I'll go with 14 panels. I think I'm going to have to go to 21 total to get this battery charged up in a shorter period of time, because the weather that we've been having right now, kind of cloudy. You can see is not enough to charge this battery up, given the time frame. You know, what, 7 o'clock in the morning to about 6 at night. But that is it. So I hope you enjoy this video. I know I enjoyed telling you about it. And leave a message or leave any notes. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have. Oh, sorry that's taken so long, but 16 minutes, yeah. Okay. All right. See you next time. Have a good day.